And good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome everybody to another Wednesday night of racing here with the Maple Ridge Racing Series. Tonight's a special race. They're going to kick off the first round of the playoffs. Last season, they didn't use the playoff system. They just crowned the points champion at the end of it. But this year, they're going to have a three-race playoff. Going to knock off a driver for the first two rounds to go into the final championship race with the final four drivers. Your playoff drivers for this season, Christopher Morse is leading the way. He'll start with a 1 point advantage, followed by Mike D'Amico, John Dickerman, Peyton Hill, Mario Ercolani, and Jacob Ellingson. Good luck to all those drivers tonight. It looks like we got a little bit of decent field, a little better than we had last week for sure. So about 13 or 14 drivers, it looks like, are going to take on the Tricky Triangle at Pocono Raceway. And as always, glad to have Vermont Sim Racer on board to help this series along and help this broadcast. So we appreciate everything they do for us there and up there at Vermont Sim Racer. Hopefully they're watching tonight in the sim labs. So it looks like they're taking the grid. By the way, this is Jamie. I'm missing Pat tonight. He's on vacation with his family in Pigeon Forge. So he'll be back with us next week for round 2 of the playoffs, but I will be by myself tonight, so please go easy with the comments. Hey, Papa Ellingson, glad to see you in here, and Mama Ellingson. And with that being said, let's get the starting lineup as these drivers are taking the grid. All right, on the pole tonight, Kyle Meyer. Nice lap there with 56.074 seconds. He's followed to the outside by Michael D'Amico in the 29. Starting third, we got Peyton Hill in the 48. His outside, our points leader coming into the playoffs, Christopher Morse in the number 3. Starting fifth, John Dickerman in the number 13 from JJ Racing. And Goatlucker Racing Zone will be starting 6th, Jacob Ellingson in the 27th. Rolling off 7th tonight will be Kevin Dianovich in the number 18. His outside, starting 8th, Mario Ercolani in the number 41. Starting 9th, number 85, James Goshen. His outside, starting 10th, the number 09 of Kevin Otis. Starting 11th, the number 42, Matt White. And he'll be followed by the man himself, then the number 17, Alex Marinelli. Alex will actually be rounding out the field tonight. Jonathan Hancock is running race control. He's not actually racing. That is our starting lineup. Again, Pocono is one of those weird tracks. I believe it's like 2.3 miles. I don't think it's quite 2.5 miles, but they call it the Tricky Triangle. All the corners are definitely different. You've got the tunnel turn that really creates havoc on that long back stretch there. Very difficult to get through there sometimes, especially if you're going through there too wide. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that for being a trouble area tonight. I'm sure these guys will do their normal Maple Ridge racing stuff and get this race through as cleanly as possible. They make their way through that tunnel turn now, heading down into turn 3. Lights are off on the pace truck, so we'll be going green this time by. As usual, on the initial start of the race, the start will be on iRacing. After that, be the leader's choice. Once pace truck pulls off on all the other restarts, the leader can go when he chooses. But for this one, he'll have to hold on until the green flag flies. They are set to go here.
Green flag.
And the green flag is out. All right, it looks like they're trying to go 3 wide, but they think better of it. They get in line. Kyle Murray is going to lead them down into turn 1 on the inside. Mike D'Amico fighting hard in the 29 to his outside, and we are too wide through most of this field. cooler heads are going to prevail, and they'll sort this out before they get to that tunnel turn. This could be pretty bad. See Jacob Ellingson stuck to the outside there through the tunnel turn, but he gets through cleanly. Holding on to 5th place there. Mike D'Amico took the lead over as they headed into the tunnel turn, and he is going to lead the way back to the start-finish line to lead lap 1 of 50 here tonight, Pocono Raceway. And I do apologize, folks. Had to step away for a second here and fix an issue with iRacing. It was going to create problems for us if I didn't, so should be good to go now. Hopefully we won't have any more interruptions. And it looks like Kyle Meyer has retaken the lead, and he will lead lap number 2. Pole sitter didn't wait too long to retake the lead here after giving it up on the first lap to Mike D'Amico. While everything's relatively calm, we'll take a gander through our field here. Take a look at everybody here. We've got Kyle Meyer leading the way, our pole sitter. Looking weird, pretty good in that 88 truck. Opening a little bit of a gap here on Christopher Morse, who's moved his way into 2nd place, up 2 spots from his starting position. Christopher Morse, he has been the dominant driver for most of this season. He is the points leader and has that small 1-point advantage that he was given for the playoffs. So he's going to look to capitalize that and get the best finish he can here at Pocono and try to solidify his run to the championship race here in a couple weeks. Mike D'Amico in the 29, who's running 3rd right now. Kind of talked about it maybe a little bit throughout this season, but Mike D'Amico just seems to have been a little bit off with finishes this year. I'm sure he would like to have had some better ones than what he's had. Definitely hasn't been as strong this season as he was in the first go-round, but still looking good here, and he's in the playoffs. And another one that's going to be looking to get the best finish he can here tonight and try to set him up nicely for that championship race. Got Jacob Ellingson in 27. Jacob's really been coming on strong recently. Really putting together some good finishes. He's up 2 spots from his starting position of 6th. He's running 4th right now. As we talked about at the top of the hour, or to the top of the broadcast, the one driver will be eliminated for these first 2 races. So it's going to be very important for some of these guys, especially Jake, who is towards the bottom of the playoff drivers as far as getting in. He's really going to need to make sure he runs up front all night here and gets a good finish so that he's not eliminated in the first round. Got Peyton Hill in the 48. Peyton has dropped a couple spots from the start here. He's running in the top 5, running 5th. Started 3rd. Still got a good solid run going right here in the first few laps of this race. We got Mario Orcolani in the 41. He's been a little bit quiet here recently. He really started off strong to begin the season, won the initial race to kick the season off, and then I believe he followed that up in week 3 with another win. But here lately, going's been a little tough for Mario, and he's going to look to rebound here tonight. Check out number 85 of James Goshen. He's currently running in 7th. He's up 2 spots from where he started. Got that sharp-looking American flag truck, all chromed out. Love that truck, James. Nice looking truck. In the 18, we got Kevin Dianovich. He's lost 1 spot so far. He's finding himself in 8th place. Running that old interstate battery scheme. I guess it's more recently Kyle Busch, but I always think Bobby Labonte when I see the interstate battery scheme like that. But Kevin's got it looking pretty good here tonight. And running 9th, we got the 09 of Kevin Otis. He's gained 1 spot. Started 10th, he's now in 9th. Looking just to make some laps here. You know, 50 laps here at Pocono is a long way to go with the racing. So just log some laps right now and try to keep yourself in contention for that win at the end. We got number 13 of John Dickerman. Like John's getting pressure now from Alex Marinelli, who's going to move himself up into 10th place and take that top 10 away from John for the moment. John has lost 6 spots. He started 5th and finds himself running at 11th. Number 17, the boss man himself, one that makes this thing all go, Alex Marinelli. Runs the Maple Ridge Racing Series. He brings in all these sponsors. Been doing a really good job of that lately. I'm sure he'll be glad that Pat is off tonight. Doesn't have to listen to somebody talk about how slow he is. I won't beat that horse tonight. So doing a good job so far. He's moved up 2 spots, finding himself in the top 10. Keeps that truck moving towards the front. We got Matt White. 42. He's rounding out the field right now. He's lost 1 spot, finding himself in 12th. Still, you know, running solid lap times right now. So, got a long way to go in this race, as we've already said. So, just keep going, Matt. Back up to the front, check on our leader. Kyle Meyer continues to lead here. And it looks like Mike D'Amico has now regained that 2nd spot. Christopher Morse has dropped all the way back to 5th. Don't know if he's just not real comfortable with that truck right now tonight, or if maybe he messed up. Maybe got a wall a little bit. Let's take a look at him and see if we can see any damage. Hard to tell. That right front looks like that might be a little bit wrinkled. Maybe he got the wall a little bit. Definitely uncharacteristic to see Christopher Morse losing positions. But with seeing that gap there at the hood and the fender, I'm guessing he got into something, the wall or maybe the back of somebody else. Not quite sure. Fortunately, we didn't get to see that as we were going through the field there, but not a good start, Christopher Morse here tonight. Let's take a lap around. Kyle Meyer, our leader, as he heads off into turn 1. Off turn 2, out to the wall, heading down to the back stretch. Gets through the tunnel turn very smoothly. That's probably the main reason why I really don't like Pocono, is because of that one turn right there. I always struggle with it, and it just makes these races become very, very long when you have to get through that tunnel turn that often. And that is a lap around Pocono with our leader, Kyle Meyer. Papa Ellingson, thanks for asking about the show. The show itself was awesome. There was over 500 Corvettes that were in the outside parking lot for the parking show that was outside. I don't know how many were inside. Obviously, not that many, but just, you know, amazing job that the people that were showing inside have done with their cars. It was incredible. The Tail of the Dragon was awesome. They said there was 363 people signed up to do the cruise to the Tail of the Dragon, but I know that there was a lot of cars that showed up probably, you know, within the last hour before the cruise left, that did not know about to sign up or anything. They just got in line and you know, made our way out of the parking lot. So I'm sure the number was more than what was signed up. But I don't know what that number was. Hail the Dragon was awesome. Would really like to do that again. But yeah, it was a great experience. And then got rear-ended on the way home. So yeah, the weekend was really good up until that point. So, but luckily nobody was hurt. Cars really not too damaged. I mean, any damage is too much, but nothing that can't be fixed. Just gonna have to go through that hassle. But again, nobody was hurt, so that's all that really matters. And the battle for the lead here is really heating up. Michael D'Amico is putting pressure on Kyle Meyer. 29 wants to get this lead back. Jake Ellingson is really not too far out of this picture with these leaders. He's worked his way into the top three, and he is matching pace with these guys right now. In fact, he's gaining on the leader a little bit. So I'm sure he'd like to see these two get the battle in, and that'll allow him to close up even closer. So definitely have to keep an eye on this. Might have a three-way battle for the lead here before too much longer. Yeah, it was definitely unfortunate what happened to Pearl. It's so senseless. Just, you know, someone not paying attention. Traffic had come to a stop on the highway, and they had already slowed down. Then, for whatever reason, just decided they needed to keep rolling into the back of us. So, definitely wasn't the way we wanted to end our trip. Yeah, that would probably be my guess. I didn't see them if they were or not. You know, by the time they were, you know, hit us, they were so close. All I could see was their grill in the mirror. So, but that would definitely be my guess, that they were distracted on their phone or something, because they were by themselves in the truck. So, and here we got a Michael D'Amico. Really putting the pressure on now. Looked to the inside there, but couldn't quite pull off that pass, so he falls back in line, heading down the back stretch here. Getting ready to head into the tunnel turn. See if he tries to set up another pass here as they head off into turn 3. I'd imagine he's going to try to get a good run here off of turn 4 and try to make that pass one more time on the front stretch. But it looks like Kyle Meyer Puts a little distance between him and the 29 that time off of turn 4. Wasn't quite close enough to be able to make an attempt there, so Michael D'Amico's going to have to settle for second place one more time. Yeah, that jar got pretty full. Yeah, I had some things to say, that was for sure. Especially since it was so senseless. Kyle Meyer has really picked up his pace here. Has now put a big gap between him and Mike D'Amico and Jake Ellingson. I'm wondering what's going on with him. He's now fallen back to almost 4 seconds behind the leader. He was making a charge to the front, but that seems to have gone away now. I got John Dickerman has pulled his number 13 machine onto pit road. Like he's gotten some wall there. Really scraped up that right side. Picking on Christopher Morse Jr., who's now fallen back to 8th. Really surprised to see this run from Christopher Morse tonight. He had a really good run Sunday night over at Go Locker Racing in the ARCA series that they ran at Pocono here. Really expected Chris to do some big things here tonight, but right now that truck is struggling. Looks like our leader brought that truck to pit road, followed by Michael D'Amico. Jake Ellingson stays out. He should get credit for leading that lap. He is, in fact, now the leader. Actually, Mama Alex, she stayed pretty calm. I'll give her that. She didn't stay very calm on the tail of the dragon, though. She finally just had to just close her eyes and not watch what was going on. But we got a good picture of her looking like she was passed out, so that was good. And Jake Ellingson's going to bring that 27 to pit road now after leading that lap. That should turn the lead over to Christopher Morse if he doesn't bring his number 3 truck down the pit road. Or stays out again. He might have made a pit stop earlier that we didn't quite catch, but that's going to put Michael D'Amico like 4 seconds behind him and gaining fast. So if he has not made that pit stop yet, he's going to want to probably get in there and do that before he gets past. That's how you end up going a lap down here at Pocono, which is kind of hard to do. After this pit stops, Michael D'Amico, once it gets cycled around here, he is going to take over the lead of this race. He beat Kyle Meyer off of pit road and now has about a 1.7 second lead over Kyle Meyer. Jacob Ellingson gave up his position to Peyton Hill in the 48. Peyton Hill made up quite a bit of ground there on that pit stop. Yeah, I'm guessing Christopher Morse had come in there earlier and made his pit stop because he used his fast repair, and it looks like that truck is back in one piece, so. But he is going to be off sequence with the leaders here. Michael D'Amico is making up all kinds of time, and that lead is now down to less than 3 seconds. You're about 3 laps away from reaching that halfway point, so we'll definitely have to have another round of pit stops here. So far, these guys have done a really good job of keeping this race clean. We've been clean from the green flag flying till now. So I imagine the next round of pit stops will be under green as well. Have to keep an eye on Christopher Morse to see if he's not going to have to make 2 more stops to get through this race, with him stopping well before the leaders did. Michael D'Amico has now cut that lead down to less than 2 seconds. He is making ground up in a hurry. Michael D'Amico has put some distance between him and Kyle Meyer, out to a 1.5 second lead over him. That gap could close in a hurry if Mike has to fight with Christopher Morse to get around him any at all. I don't think it'll be too much of a fight with the amount of time that Mike D'Amico has eaten up on him. And there he goes into turn 1. And he easily makes that pass. Set sail to the point. Fresh air, clean air in front of him. He's going to look to make up as much distance away from Kyle Meyer as he can. Hope that Kyle catches Christopher Morse maybe at an inopportune time, and he's able to pad this lead a little bit. Maybe we just need to talk about Mike D'Amico, the light to fire under him. As soon as I said that he hadn't really been running strong this year, as strong as he was last season, he comes out tonight, and he is definitely a man on a mission looking for this win here at Pocono. We are at the halfway point. Well, not quite. There's 26 laps to go. So one more lap to the halfway point. Getting ahead of myself. See, from the Goodyear blimp, the gap between first and second place has now grown to about 1.7 seconds. Christopher Morse is now falling back to third place. Next battle on the track probably going to come down between Peyton Hill and Jake Ellingson. Fight for that 4th place. Peyton has it. Jake wants it. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. both of those are playoff drivers. Peyton Hill and Jake Ellingson are both playoff drivers, and every position is going to matter. This being a cutoff race tonight. Jake brings that 27 to the inside, heading into turn 1. Will he be able to make this pass? Peyton Hill fights back on the outside. Jake's going to have to get back in line, come down the back stretch as they head into the tunnel turn. If Jake tries it one more time as they come down the long front stretch here, he is going to pull down to the inside and try this pass one more time. Again, he just can't keep the truck down on the bottom and get back to the gas. Peyton Hill is able to use the outside and gets a good run. Clears the 27 off the corner and most likely lead him back around to the start-finish line one more time. And Jake's going to have to find another spot on this track to pull that pass off. It just doesn't seem like it's going to work in turn 1. Check back in with our leader. Gap from first to second is closed a little bit. Kyle Myers now gotten to within a 1.5 seconds of Mike D'Amico. Check in with Mario Ercolani, one of our playoff drivers. He finds himself in 7th right now. He's up 1 spot. I'm not exactly sure what the point situation is looking like for these playoffs. All I know is that Christopher Morse was given a 1-point advantage. I don't know if everyone else was tied. So if that is the case, guessing John Dickerman at the 13 would probably be the driver that's going to get cut in the race after the race tonight if he does not make up some ground here. He is running in 9th place, and I imagine he's going to have to get himself around Mario Ercolani to avoid being eliminated in round 1. And it looks like Christopher Morse Jr. has made another visit to pit road. Going to leave him with 21 laps to go. I'm not exactly sure how far they can go on fuel. I did not notice when they first started making pit stops, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make it to the end without having to stop it yet again. If he can make it to the end, he may actually be in a pretty decent spot here. It's going to be close. If Mike D'Amico and Kyle Meyer will have enough to run him back down before this race is over, because they will have to stop again for sure. Mike D'Amico's lead has now grown to over almost 3 seconds. Not sure what's going on with Kyle Meyer. He was losing gobs of time. Truck looks okay. I don't really see any damage. Oh, there. There might be damage to the 88 truck on the right side. See. I do believe there is. significant damage to the right side. It looks like he got into the wall. Fender is definitely hurt on the front there, so yeah, he is losing lots of time right now to Mike D'Amico, our leader. Jake Ellingson has made his way back into the top 3. He's gotten around Peyton Hill. Next up, Jake's going to set his sights on Kyle Meyer to try to run him down before they make these pit stops and Kyle can get that damage repaired. Right now, Mike D'Amico has set sail and is checked out on the rest of this field. Kyle Meyer has brought his truck down pit road. I imagine he's going to use a fast repair and get that damage fixed. Fortunately, the pace truck was blocking our view to see if the fast repair was used. I'm sure it was. Can't really get a good view of that, but yes, that truck is clean and as good as new. Kyle Meyer's going to be looking to try to make up all that ground he lost. I mean, that was about 5 seconds that he had fallen behind Mike D'Amico. That's going to be tough to make up, especially with as well as Mike D'Amico got on and off pit road the last time around. He really made up a lot of time, took the lead over from Kyle Meyer on those first round of pit stops. So it's going to be an uphill battle for Kyle Meyer if he wants to win this race from here on out. We see the 85 of James Goshen get around Mike D'Amico to get one of his laps back. Have to see if it updates at the scoring line to see whether or not he's going to be 1 lap or if he is actually 2 laps down now. Looks like he was only 1 lap, so he should be back on the lead lap now once they cross the start-finish line. Jacob Ellingson has now moved into 2nd place. Kevin Dianovich in the 18 is now running in 3rd. Like he is about 8 seconds back from Jacob for the 2nd place. Mario Orcolani got his way up to 4th, but now brings the 41 down pit road. Kyle Meyer has made up a couple spots since the pit stop. It's back up to, well, now he just moved up into 5th. He will continue to march his way back up front as the rest of these trucks have to make their stops. "16 laps to go. Michael D'Amico brings that 29 down pit lane, as does Jacob Ellingson. Dianovich is going to stay out to lead the lap here. We'll get credit for leading that lap. Good job by him. John Dickerman brings the 13 down pit road. Like he's got some damage on that truck as well. We saw him with some damage earlier. Ooh, slides into his box, has to back up. Guessing maybe he doesn't have a fast repair left or just is choosing not to use one. There's a notice on his windshield there. He's running the Maple Ridge Racing logo, signifying that he is a playoff driver. Yeah, and Dianovich has relinquished the lead, bringing the 18 down pit road, and that should turn the lead back over to Mike D'Amico. And Kyle Meyer now must have had a really good pit stop of his own, because he is closed up to the bumper of Mike D'Amico. Now we will have to keep an eye on, well, no, Kyle, he should be good to go today. He came in a little bit early, but it wasn't that much early. So what we should see is a tire difference. The drop off is going to start showing for Kyle, and Mike D'Amico should be able to pull away from him here pretty easily. Peyton Hill now finds himself in third. A significant gap back to the fourth place of Jake Ellingson. That's 5 seconds between these two. Actually, 6. I'm not sure if he got the wall again there, Mama Ellingson, or not. The truck looks okay on the front. I don't see any damage to the right side, so he must have gotten close to it. Really sharp looking truck, though. I like that. Check in on our points leader here, Christopher Morse, who finds himself back in 9th place. Right now, Christopher Morse is the last place truck of the playoff drivers. Don't think anybody was expecting to see that tonight. I'm really not sure why he finds himself running this far back now. But it's going to be interesting to see how all this shakes out. Right now, he's 1 spot behind John Dickerman. So that should be close enough to keep him safe. Nothing else, but we'll definitely have to keep an eye on the points when this is all over. Michael D'Amico, since that pit stop, has now opened his lead back up to over a second on Kyle Meyer. Peyton Hill must have had a really good pit stop, because he has got himself within less than 4 seconds behind the leader here. Peyton's going to be looking to possibly try to catch Kyle Meyer and move himself up into 2nd place before this is all said and done. Michael D'Amico has got that thing on cruise control tonight. Just continues to open the gap between him and Kyle Meyer. Now it's back to a 1.5 second lead. Just continuing to build. Once again, we see the gap now back to first. Between first and second is now over 2 seconds. Out of 10 laps to go here at Pocono Raceway, and Mike D'Amico is just now, he's just dominating this race. He's looking like Christopher Morse did last week. Of course, he's not going to lap the entire field here at Pocono, but this is definitely a big advantage for Mike D'Amico to get this win in the first round of the playoffs. That's really going to set him up nice to continue to run through the playoffs. Of course, race isn't over yet, but Mike D'Amico has definitely ran a dominating race to this point. Kyle Meyer just continues to lose gobs of time. Like he's losing about a couple tenths a lap to Mike D'Amico right now. And that is a lot here at Pocono. Unfortunately, with Pocono being such a big track, they really do not have very good camera angles here. I'd like to be able to do a crank it up or something, but it's nothing good for that, and these guys are so spread out, it'd probably be about 20 seconds before we had somebody else come by, so. Peyton Hill continues to run strong in third place. Find himself about 3.8 seconds behind Kyle Meyer. 6 laps to go. That's going to be a little bit tough to try to make that up, but still top 3 finish. I'm sure Peyton will be quite happy with that to start his playoffs with. Strong run for Jake tonight, running in 4th. That crash test dummy truck paint scheme tonight. Not sure why Jake would make himself such an easy target for us to talk about with that dummy paint scheme, but we'll let it go tonight. Kevin Dianovich running solidly in the top 5. Kevin Otis in the 09. Solid run for him, up 4 spots right now. He is the biggest gainer of the race. Started 10th, finds himself in 6th. Good run for Kevin. Mario Urcolani, one of our playoff drivers, still got that rash from getting into the wall. Doesn't look like the front of the truck's hurt though, so he's probably still making good lap times. John Dickerman in the 13, finds himself in 8th. Christopher Morse Jr. continues to struggle. He is the last truck still of the playoff drivers, finds himself in 9th. I don't know if Chris is just trying to maybe give everybody else a chance in the playoffs here or what, because, man, did not see this race happening from him tonight. Alex Marinelli, the boss man, finds himself in 10th. James Goshen in the 85, currently running in 11th. Still like the truck though, James. Matt White rounds out the field in 12th. 4 laps to go. We'll take it back to the front. Why did we lose our leader? There we go. Mike D'Amico has got a almost 4.5-second lead now over Kyle Meyer. It's a dominating performance from Mike D'Amico here tonight. Gonna have to apologize to him for calling him out at the beginning of the race. But again, maybe he heard me and it really lit a fire in him, because we have not seen him run like this all season long. But this is the Mike D'Amico we came to expect from last year. Comes across the line, be 2 laps to go. 2 laps remaining for Mike D'Amico to kick this playoff run off with a win. We could look back here at John Dickerman. Him and Mario Ercolani are in a battle for 7th place. Really the only battle anywhere on the track. Of course, Christopher Morse is now pulling up on the back of these two. This might be a three-way fight here to get 7th place. I mean, that's really an important spot for all 3 of these guys. They're all 3 playoff drivers, so nobody wants to be that odd man out. But white flag is out for Mike D'Amico. Comes off turn 2, head down that back stretch for the final time tonight. He's got a commanding 6.8-second lead over 2nd place Kyle Meyer. Peyton Hill finds himself running in 3rd and is gaining quite a bit of time on Kyle Meyer. He wishes this race had about 5 more laps. Off of turn 4, for the final time down the front stretch, Mike D'Amico is going to win. First round of the playoffs here with the Maple Ridge Racing Series. Congratulations, Mike D'Amico. You are the first winner in history for a Maple Ridge Racing playoff race. Outstanding job. Kyle Meyer held on to 2nd place with a late charge from Peyton Hill. Hill rounds comes in 3rd. Jacob Ellingson in 4th. Kevin Dianovich is going to round out our top 5. Went from green to checker. No cautions here tonight. Multiple green flag pit stops. Really good job as usual by these Maple Ridge Racing drivers. Yeah, absolutely, Pop Ellingson. They started this thing off with a good strategy race. These guys really needed to have their thinking caps on about when they were going to make their pit stops. And the guys that were really good at getting on and off pit road, it definitely made a difference for them. We saw Mike D'Amico, who really couldn't get around Kyle Meyer earlier in the race, was able to use that first pit stop to take the lead, and he never looked back from that point. And Peyton Hill, he started 3rd, he finishes 3rd. But he had found himself a few spots back. But he used both those green flag pit stops to make up some spots, and pulls out top 3. Good start to his playoffs as well. Get our finishing order up here. Get ready to see if we can get our top 3 drivers in the interview here. Mike D'Amico is already in the waiting room ready to go, so we will bring him up. Talk to our race winner. I'll try that one more time. Hey, Mike, this is Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, man, what's going on?
Well, man, hey, congratulations, man, pulling off that win, the first race for the playoffs. Man, way to start it. I gotta apologize to you a little bit. I was, kind of talking about you at the beginning of the race, and we hadn't quite seen the speed out of you this season that we got used to seeing last year or last season. And man, I don't know if you had heard it, but you came out here and dominated the way we're used to seeing you do. And what was different tonight?
I think really just dialing in this new set of pedals compared to last week. I was really working through the motions with them, and I hopped into the race last week thinking, okay, we'll see how we do. Can't be that bad, can it? And it was about as worse as I could have possibly imagined.
Well,
So a much different story tonight than last Wednesday.
well, that's not good news for the rest of this field in the 2 remaining playoff races. If you were dealing with equipment issues last week and now have them finished, man, so you you put a stomping on them tonight. That was definitely that win was very convincing. Um, man, uh, I'm by myself tonight, so I don't really have a whole lot to bring to it. Pat's
I
on
got you, man.
vacation
No
this
worries.
week, so anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs, sponsors?
Uh, no one in particular, no sponsors really to thank. My buddy Lou for watching. Anyone else watching? Thank you for tuning in. And thank you to Alex and Mike over at VT Sim Racer for putting this on for us. And looking forward to the rest of the season.
All right, man. It looks like you got one more cutoff race, and then it'll be the championship 4 race. And I don't think you could have asked for a better start than what you got tonight, man. So best of luck going forward, and hope you pull this thing out.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
All right, you too. All right, we got third place finisher Peyton Hill. We'll bring him up. I don't know if Kyle Meyer knows we do top 3 interviews or not, but we will get Peyton up here in just a second and talk to him. Hey, Peyton, it's Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right, man. Well, hey, way to kick off your playoff run here with a nice top 3 finish. Uh, Great run for you tonight. We saw you really take advantage of the green flag pit stops. You made up some spots on each one of those pit stops. So take me through your race and how did you pull this off?
Well, we started off, qualifying pretty strong tonight. I think I qualified third, which was kind of nice that I ended third. So, and then I was battling with Jacob the entire race. Jake and I were battling pretty hard and swapping positions in between the green flag pit stops. And I knew the only way I was going to get around him is on the green flag pit stop. And so I tried to pit early on every pit stop, like I did in Vegas, which put me back into a top 3 position. And, our car was pretty fast tonight as well. But unfortunately, I didn't have anything else for those top 2 drivers. They were pretty fast.
Well, man, I mean, you were pretty fast tonight as well, and it was brought up in the chat that tonight was a really good strategy race to kick off these playoffs. And it sounds to me like you came into this race with the strategy of, pitting earlier than everybody else and trying to take advantage of that. So is that what you came in with? Was that plan?
The big strategy that I came in with was I was going to try to save tires as best as I could. Unfortunately, that did not work out in my favor. And I did understand that this track was hardcore on track position and draft down the straightaway. So I tried to stay up with anybody that I could throughout the entirety of the race. And to pit early was the best way to gain the track position, and it worked in Vegas. So I figured why not try it here, and it worked pretty well.
Well, again, good call, man. Great run for you tonight. Way to kick off your playoffs. You definitely secured yourself a spot for next week. So congratulations and best of luck going forward. Anybody you need to thank? Shout out sponsors.
Yeah, I'd love to thank my family and friends watching from home, and I'd like to also thank my team at 72 Motorsports, as well as basically, and you guys in the booth, as well as Alex for putting on this league. You know, it's cool. Thank you
All right,
guys.
man. Well, thank you. And again, congratulations on a strong run tonight. And we'll see you next week. Take on Hickory for round 2 of the playoffs, man. Good luck to you.
Oh man, I'm excited. Hope to see you again.
All right, man. Look forward to it.
Yeah.
Right. Heard from Peyton Hill, our second place driver. Kyle Meyer has brought himself in the waiting room. Or I'm sorry, Peyton Hill is our third place driver. So we'll get Kyle Meyer up here and talk to him. Hey, Kyle, this is Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, we saw you took the pole. You led quite a bit early. Good, strong second place finish. I know it's probably not what you really wanted, but good run for you tonight. How about you take us through your race and how it all played out for you?
Yeah, I'm still learning. I'm really just a short track guy. Um, so I don't run these trucks or Xfinity or anything like that very often. So I have a hard time with tire saving in these and knowing like when to pit. So I just take a guess at it and hope for the best.
Well, man, that don't spell good news for everybody else because you were fast here tonight. You had a really strong run, and when you're sitting here telling me that you pulled all that off and you don't know really what you're doing at all, when you figure it out, man, these guys aren't going to be able to touch you.
I don't know about all that, but I appreciate the kind words for sure.
Well, Kyle, man, again, congratulations on a strong finish. As you know, this kicked off the playoffs for Maple Ridge tonight. So it was a really great race, a good strategy race to kick those playoffs off. So, glad you were out here to be a part of it. You ran really well. Really fun to have you out here. So anybody you need to thank, shout out sponsors?
Oh yeah, first I'd like to thank Alex for letting me join. Um, Tyler Payne with Elite Performance Industries. And you guys for putting on a hell of a broadcast.
We appreciate that, man. Hopefully it didn't go too bad tonight with me being by myself. Pat's off this week, so again, man, congratulations on a strong second place finish, and hopefully we'll see you out here for the remainder of the season.
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
All right, man. You have a good one.
Thank you, you too.
All right, folks. That is a wrap here from Pocono Raceway. You got our finishing order up here on the screen. Michael D'Amico pulled off the win. Starts the playoffs strong. That's going to be tough for these guys to answer, especially with just 2 races remaining. Well, 1 race remaining to get to the championship 4. Then I guess it'll just be who best finisher out of those top 4 is going to win this thing. So Mike D'Amico definitely threw down the hammer to start this thing. Kyle Meyer comes in second. Peyton Hill in third. Jacob Ellingson in fourth. Kevin Dianovich in fifth. Kevin Otis in sixth. John Dickerman in seventh. Mario Ercolani in eighth. Christopher Morse was last place for the championship playoff drivers. So we'll have to see how this shakes out with the points and everything. Coming in 10th is Alex Marinelli. 11th was James Goshen, and coming in 12th was Matt White. Next week, it'll be another cutoff race. It'll be down to 5 drivers, and then 1 will be sent home after that one, and we'll be at Hickory Motor Speedway next Wednesday for 110 laps. And then that'll set us up for the final 4 championship race, which will be at Darlington on April 6th. So hope to see everybody back next Wednesday for this Maple Ridge Racing Series, sponsored by Vermont Sim Racer. We'll do it one more time. So thanks for everybody to hanging out with us tonight, and we will see you guys later.